Working. Good morning. Today is the 17th of July 2022 and I'm going to go through my trade plan for today. Before we start, let's look at the calendar to see what could be moving the market. We had building permits come in at 8:30, didn't see much of a move in the market there, and we've had a Fed speaking at 9, that's about now. But then later on we've got another Fed speaking 9:30 just after the market, and some oil news, and we've got the bond auctions as well. So just keep an eye on those times. Let's go back to the ES. We're looking at the 1 hour time frame, and this is the ES S&P 500 E-mini futures. So levels pretty much as we've had recently. We've had this bit of a sell-off today, and one of the levels I was watching was this area here, 56.77. We've blasted through that area, so I quite like that area now for a retest, for a rejection, and if we can move up into that region, 56.77, I'll be looking for a short. I've also got another short around this level, yesterday's low level, 56.90 to 56.86, and I quite like the short around here as well. So this is the zone I'm watching for a short. As for bounces, the only bounce area is this region here. You can see we had volume come in, bit of a volume shelf. It's not the point of control, but it's the most volume in the last couple of weeks in this region here. So that's where I want to see the market move down to before I watch for a bounce. So I'm watching 56.40 down to 56.30, this region. And that is literally the only two levels I'm watching today. Let's go down onto the 15-minute to see if there's anything of interest. Now you can see this area here, the point of control is way up. Oh, point of control's down here now, sorry, just as it's updated. So that just proves that area could be a good area we can watch for a bounce. So that's our bounce area we just spoke about, and I quite like the rejection around there and around that area. And if we push through all of these levels, then we can watch for a potential rejection up here at all-time highs. And then for bounces, there's only one bounce really, it's this area. Break and retest a pre-market high. We had a big sell-off in the pre-market. What time was that? That was yesterday that was last night, and the most recent pre-market from 3 AM is here. So maybe we could watch the break and retest of yesterday's low long to continue the trend. We are still in a big uptrend. If we look at the daily, big strong uptrend, putting in higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, another higher high there, higher low, as you can see. So potentially we could still be continuing that uptrend. One thing to note, if I just zoom in a bit on the daily, and then let's just look at the volume. So we've had some potential reversal candles here, top in tail, top in tail, top in tail, so all indecision candles. I know we broke out of it yesterday in the upper end, but then in the pre-market we've given it all back again. But interestingly, the volume, we've had increase in volume, above average volume, and it could, with potential reversal candles, could show a potential end of trend, or at least a pullback's due. Before that we had really reduced volume as the market was pushing up, and now we see volume coming in, which could signify a change of trend. We have had this real bearish candle in the pre-market, but it's not, still there's not much volume there. Look at the volume, low volume, and we've already taken out the last 2 days candles. So, but it's pre-market volume, so I wouldn't go think deep into that at the moment, because it could end the day as a top in tail candle maybe. So we've still got that potential, but holding that level, holding this level of resistance, support from the last few days, so we can watch this area for a bounce. Let's go back to the hourly. So this is the area it's holding for the last few days, this area here, and we're kind of bouncing that area at the moment, but the best bounce I think is down here at 56.40. Okay, so SPY next, very same, This is an area to watch for the bounce. We're kind of in that area now, and I quite like the rejection around this area. So that's fit 561 to 562 for rejection, and then potentially when a bounce, if we break 560, we could look for the long. That'll be breaking. That's gonna be hard. We're going long into these moving averages, but it'll be a scalp because it's kind of against the hourly trend, that recent hourly trend. And then the bounce area is this region down here for the bounce at 556 to 557. And I will tidy all these drawings up at some point, get rid of all of these. So I kind of like that area of confidence there. We've got tops of candles, most touches of the bodies and the tails. So 557 basically. SPX next. 1 second. Right, SPX like that. Still watching 5700 for rejection, and we've got this bounce area, kind of the area we've been watching in SPY and ES. So at 550, 55, 76, 55, 80. That's really the only areas to watch. We could potentially watch for a bounce at this region. We've got a double bottom there already, so let's just put that in. So watch that area 56.14 to 56.24 bounce, and that'll be bouncing off of this 20-50 moving average, I think this red line, and that's quite an area we can watch. NQ, it's looking a bit weaker. We've gone through that level we've been watching, so the only next level for bounce is this area here, 20,230, 2230. Pre-market low areas, so that's an area to watch for a bounce. And then we can watch for the rejection if we come back up into this region, 2500, so that's the best area to watch for a rejection. And I'm going to put an alert in just before 2500, and that's for the rejection. That's it. QQQs, same. 500 is obviously a psychological number which we not been able to break through. We did temporarily, came back, retested it, rejected. If we get back up into this 495 area, 490, 490, we can watch that area for rejection. Big area of confidence, bottoms of candles there, lots of touches. Otherwise, the only bounce area I like is around this region here, which I'm going to just draw a area for supply. This region is a bounce at 480.46, 480.50. Crude oil. One second. Right, sorry, back again. Crude oil. We're coming into a area of kind of rejection and confidence area, so we can watch 81.78, pretty high risk. It's coming close to that now in the pre-market for a rejection, or we can watch for a break and retest long. We're almost exclusively playing this channel now. We drew this channel in yesterday, and you can see we came back down, we touched that area as well, so potentially we could be coming back up into that region, and that would be our rejection area up here, 83 potentially. Don't really have a level for that area, but we could watch this area here, and I'm basically looking at the most touches, bottoms of pivots there, a bit of confluence, tops of pivots, and it's happened to be at 83 as well, and it could be where the trend, where this trend line or this channel will end. So watch this for rejection to continue this channel, and we can watch for the bounce down in this region as well. Okay, gold next. Looking very bullish. Can't find a rejection yet, but I think if we pull back down into 2445, we can watch for a bounce on this trend line to continue the trend, or watch for the break and retest of pre-market high at 248, 2484 I meant, that area. RTY. Okay, so if we, well, we've got 20, 29. Let's look at the daily for a second. So right in this area of confluence, look at that. So really heavy, hard area. We've got all this volume just here. It's going to be hard to get through that, but we've got bottoms of pivots, tops of pivots, and we're kind of rejecting this area as well. So this is our area we've been watching for. I think 2200, 2190. That's an area to watch for a bounce. Let's just go down into the hourly. So 2190, this area here, we'll watch this area for the bounce. 2229, not sure where it's come from, getting rid of that. I think that goes back a long way, but there was no resistance there, so we'll keep an eye on that. So we want it to pull right back. We're very, very extended, so we'll get all the way down into this region here and watch for a bounce. Small area of confluence, but as we just saw on the daily, get the 1 day, that's kind of the tops of these pivots here. 2150, no, sorry, it's the tops of these pivots there. Let's just mark it up a little bit, and then that area there, so that's our rejection area. I'm going to change these to daily because we can see it then on our hourly chart. Daily. So now go back to the hourly. You can see that they're the levels we're watching for. They're the main areas. So these are bounce areas we can watch. Maybe if we put in a bit of a reversal, like a double top, we come back up into this region and then come back down. We can look for a rejection at pre-market high or trend continuation, but we are very, very extended. And you know, coming back to the 200 moving average is probably going to be a better trade, looking for the bounce. YM, same again. We've got this region here. Let's go to the daily. 2 daily pivots, and then let's find another region, probably this area here as well. These are 2 daily levels, tops of pivots here, tops of pivots, bottoms of pivots. Let's go back to the hourly. So we watch for a bounce at 46.94, and we've got other layers below. There's nothing else really. Just confirm that's all-time highs. All-time highs as well, so nothing above, no levels above, so no shorts really. So trend continuation, we need to pull right back down into this area basically. This is the area we should be watching for a bounce. This region from 46.9 to 4700 down to 4500 basically. Okay, quickly look at Bitcoin to see where we are with that. Looking pretty bullish. We talked about this. We're putting this double bottom, higher low, and then we finally broke out, retest. You can see clearly there, that's the pivot there. We broke out of it, came back and retested that area. That's an entry there if you're playing it on the short term. And we're coming into this area at 66,500 for a rejection, potential rejection, or it may just slow down a bit. Again, this area I added myself personally, so I added to my small Bitcoin position down here, and I really want to see it sell off a bit more. If we pull back into this region here, we can watch for a bounce. Potentially we could be looking at an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, not very good, maybe a right shoulder, a bit like that. We could be watching out for that pattern. But we've got a bounce area here, which is where we were before, this area as well. I'm still looking pretty bullish. Let's go on to the daily. And we're just putting in this flag pattern. I'm sure if we can draw levels in. And just replicate it there. Kind of that pattern we're putting in. So I'll leave that in because we can see the channels quite clearly. I know it's not quite exact, but it just gives a general idea. We can probably fine tune that a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. So let's go back to ES and look at the order flow. There's a little bit of divergence going on right now.